Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us on Live at 1. I'm Michael Njenga. We kick off with party matters, and the United Democratic Forum has expelled Dr. Boni KHALWALE and Hassan Osman from the party. The party, at a special meeting held today, announced the expulsion of the two after they allegedly flouted the party constitution and for indiscipline. The two could lose their seats if the registrar of political parties rectifies the decision and communicates the same to the representative speaker of the National Assembly and the Senate. Our reporter Esther Kahumbi now joins us for details about this story. Esther, good afternoon, and elaborate to us why the party has taken such drastic actions. Esther, if you can hear me. Well, we'll be talking to Esther Kahumbi just to explain to us what happened and what is going on at the UDF at the moment. Now, Ndaragwa Member of Parliament Francis Waweru Nderito has admonished Kenyan courts for allegedly colluding with individuals to frustrate implementation of the Jubilee government pre-election manifesto. Speaking in his Ndaragwa constituency today, the Member of Parliament floated some rulings such as the one that halted construction of the standard gauge railway in Kibwezi area and the supply of laptops for primary schools children. The Member of Parliament said the court orders had slowed development agenda of the government. Nderito further urged leaders in the Nyandarua County to be prudent in the manner they utilize public funds to avoid wastage.
So we are telling the court fraternity, give us a break. We want to implement the government manifesto. We know what we want. We know what we want to do. The only thing that we are getting from the opposition is disturbance. What we want to tell them is that if they have a clear issue that they want to give us on a guidelines on what to do, we are ready to listen. They come on a table and we negotiate with them on how to do certain things. But lashing to court is not going to give us the solutions.
Moving on, CORD leader Raila Odinga's wife Ida Odinga has lauded the new constitution for empowering women in the country. She observed that many women were now in positions of leadership and expressed hope that more will be empowered. Ida was speaking when she presided over the launch of a support program for the girl child education and sanitary towels to vulnerable girls in Busia County. Present during the event was Busia County Governor's wife Judy Ajamong, who initiated the program.
We have our mama, our county, and then we have women county reps like Mama Florence as well. So we have so many people who have come into focus to look after you. These are positions of leadership. And then development has been brought to the county, and they have been brought very close to you. So make use of them. Once again, challenge the community, challenge the parents. Taking the child to school alone is not enough.
Move on to county matters, and Baringo Senator Gideon Moi has asked the government to urgently restore security in Baringo County following the latest spate of attacks there that have seen several police officers and civilians killed by bandits. The Baringo Senator spoke just a few days after area leaders held a peace meeting to help the ethnic animosity between residents of Baringo and neighboring counties. Safi Godana tells us more.
The counties of Baringo and Turkana have been hard hit by insecurity in recent weeks. 9 people, including 3 GSU officers, have been killed in the latest attacks in the two counties. The officers were killed during a gunfight between members of the Pokot and Ilchamus communities in Baringo. The rising insecurity has seriously affected KCSE candidates in the area as they cannot concentrate properly on their exam preparations. Transporting examination papers has also become a challenge.
Ilikuwa nafanya mtihani jana na shida hiyo ilikuwa inaendelea pande hii, pinduki zinalia, milio za risasi zinalia hapa, watoto wange concentrate.
Speaking during a church service in Baringo, the area Senator Gideon Moi says the unmarked border points between Baringo and Turkana counties have contributed to the latest clashes in the area.
And this is what I would like to urge the government, that we need to involve the survey department in exactly marking out the beacons between Turkana and Baringo.
Leaders and residents of Baringo County now want the government to launch investigations into the latest attacks and urgently restore security in the area.
There has been a lull, but what's important is the investigating arm of the government to find out the root cause, especially on this one, on what triggered it.
Safi Godana, Citizen Live at 1.
Well, we recap our top story where the United Democratic Forum has expelled Dr. Boni KHALWALE and Hassan Osman from the party. The party, at a special meeting held today, announced the expulsion of the two after they allegedly floated the party constitution, and for indiscipline. The two could lose their seats if the registrar of political parties ratifies the decision and communicates the same to the representative speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate. Our reporter Esther Kahumbi now joins us for the details about this story. Esther, good afternoon, and please elaborate to us why the party has taken such drastic action.
Well, thank you very much, Michael Njenga. As you rightly mentioned, I'm at the UDF party offices where Musalia Mudavadi, who has been re-elected as the party's leader, has currently taken to the podium. And as you asked, Michael Njenga, why they've taken that decision is because they're saying these three people, that is Hassan Eden Osman, Boni KHALWALE, Senator Boni KHALWALE, and Martha Wangari, who was the party's treasurer, had violated the party's constitution, holding meetings and acting contrary to what the party would expect. And so the held National Delegates Council and National Governing Council both were held today, and they have resolved to expel the three from the party's register. And of course, there were others who have also been suspended, 8 others who are officials of the party. So those people cease to be members or officials of that party. You remember Hassan is a nominated member of the National Assembly. Boni KHALWALE is a senator. And so therefore what this means is that, as you rightly mentioned in your intro, Njenga, is that they will have to communicate this decision to the registrar of political parties. But Osman's camp has been really opposed to this NDC. In fact, the NDC was supposed to be held last Friday, but the NDC was cancelled and pushed to today. So they have met and decided to expel those 3 members and suspend 8 others from the party officials list. Michael.
Well, Kahumbi, were any of the 3 around? Were they around, or it comes to them as a surprise?
Sorry, just say that again?
Were any of the 3 around, even as they were being expelled from the party?
No, we haven't seen any of them at the NDC meeting. However, we've seen their supporters right outside the party's official office. We've seen some members. Earlier on, there was some commotion, complainants from Hassan Osman's camp complaining about this NDC, but that was quickly settled, and the police officers were here to quickly kick them out of this place. But to say that they were here, they were not here. None of them is here. They have elected new party officials. The others that were there have been notified, and they cease to be members of this party.
Well, thank you very much, Esther Kahumbi. Of course, we'll be talking to you later. That is our reporter, Esther Kahumbi, who is at the UDF party headquarters right now, as she clearly tells us that Boni KHALWALE and Martha Wangari have been expelled from the party. Of course, this is a developing story. We'll be giving you detailed coverage in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, Kwale leaders have condemned what they call radicalization of youths in the area. The leaders, who included Kwale County women representatives Zainab Chizuga, told parents to be wary that their children are taught to avoid being radicalized. Tobias Bella with the details.
Speaking at Sawasawa in Msambweni constituency, where hundreds of madrasa teachers were graduating, Chizuga intimated that Muslim religion does not entertain the culture of violence and warned those out to confuse the youths. She called for the formulation of a standard curriculum for those attending madrasas.
Waislamu si wapenda fujo. Waislamu ni wapenda amani. Lakini twashangaa inakuwaje malengo yote ya maovu yanapelekewa Waislamu. Lakini pia na sisi tujiangalie, kuna kitu gani kimekoseka kati yetu kama jamii ya Kiislamu. Na ndiposa wakati wa nyuma mlisikia nikisema wakati umefika sasa jamii ya Kiislamu tuwe na karikula moja katika Kwale kwa mfano. Sisemi ni nyinyi walimu wetu, lakini kuna baadhi ya walimu kwingineko badala ya kusomesha mazuri wanasomesha ambayo sio. Hayo ndio imerusha watoto wetu akili mpaka wameingilia mambo mabaya.
The Kwale women representative also criticized the recent spate of unexplained killings in Kwale County and said the government should act on those responsible.
Ningependa hiyo list kamili ya wale ambao wameuliwa, maana mimi nina msaada na upeleka bungeni, waziri hajatujibu. Watu wetu wa Kwale wauliwa na nani na ni kwa nini wanauliwa?
Kwale Governor Salim Mvurya on his part called on the national government to ensure security for the Kwale residents.
Na jambo ambalo limetokea hivi karibuni ni vifo ambavyo haviwezi kueleweka. Na mimi nasema kwamba hata kama ni polisi, hata kama ni wenyewe kwa wenyewe, hairuhusiwi kwa mwanadamu kutoa maisha ya mwingine.
Kwale County has witnessed several unexplained killings in the recent past, some in Gombato constituency and Bongwe Mlazi area, where youths have mysteriously disappeared. And as the leaders call for more security in the region, they believe that an end to youth radicalization will also play a critical role in restoring order in the county. Tobias Bele for Citizen Live at 1.
Now, students from Kibabii University College in Bungoma County had a full weekend of entertainment courtesy of Mseto Campus Tour by Radio Citizen through presenter Mzazi William Tuva and DJ Flash of Mambo Mseto. The tour brought together various artists from Western region who thrilled the students who turned up for the event in big numbers. Many upcoming artists had the chance to showcase their talents and thanked Mseto Tour for being there to identify and support young upcoming artists from the region.
Unapata kurekodi muziki, kutoa video kwa mtu yule ambaye anaanza ni expensive, so akipata mtu ambaye anaweza msaidia akamsukuma kule mbele, at least hiyo itakuwa inajenga vijana wetu na tutasonga mbele.
We are looking forward kusukuma hizi kazi, na tunajua through Mseto, William Tuva pamoja na crew yote support tutapata kabisa fresh.
Now, every Sunday morning, a group of Christians gather at a church in Kiambu County for a unique service where little is said and worshippers sing in sign language. The extraordinary service at the Ikino Emmanuel Church of the Deaf brings together about 50 deaf people. Evelyn Omboy brings us the story of this courageous group that won't let anything stand between them and their God.
From a distance, it stands as a quiet church in the middle of Ikinu Ward, Kiambu County. One would even be forgiven to assume it's empty, because outside of the little voices playing in its compound, there is considerable silence. But it's Sunday, and the Lord's house is usually never quiet on a Sunday, so we decide to move closer. A worship service is ongoing. But apart from the beats of this drum, there is little else. But that doesn't mean there is no music. And where there's music, there is dance.
We have come in this place to preach.
Even if of a unique kind. Welcome to the Ikinu Emmanuel Church of the Deaf.
Yesu ananipenda. Dio ananipenda.
These young ones give a presentation. Before the day is summoned. It's about Jesus walking on water, a sermon received by an attentive audience.
Nao wanafunzi wake katika merikebu wakatembea wakaenda.
An interpreter is available for those of us who do not understand sign language in a church that, though open for all, is largely attended by those hard of hearing and deaf. An average 50 worshippers attending every week. We talked to the founder of the church, Joseph Ogola, who decided to spread the Lord's word in sign language.
I started planting churches in slums of Nairobi, door to door. The church grew in Nairobi, it continued to expand for the deaf. And the church's name was Emmanuel Church.
It is a church that allows those hard of hearing to assemble and share together both plight and blessings.
They have also started another church in Githongori, but the members here, in the first time, there were very many. This is their home area. So people are asking, why are deaf born around this area? But I don't know. I didn't have an answer. God only knows how to answer this question. For the deaf members, I encourage the women here, when there is a problem, I advise them and I try to help them solve their issues. Beleni sikuwa naenda kanisani. Nilianza kuja kanisani hapa Ikino. Kanisa hili ni poa, inanipea motisha sana. So beleni sikuwa najua kuomba, lakini sasa niko poa.
It is all a gesture of faith, a gesture that continues to create a place for the deaf and those hard of hearing to see the word as opposed to hearing it, and to worship.
Well, thank you, Evelyn, for that great story. Now, First Lady Margaret Kenyatta's mobile clinics project has been hailed as an innovative way of reaching mothers who are in need of medical help in some of the country's most remote places. But several months since their launch, investigations by Citizen TV has established that some of the clinics are yet to reach their intended beneficiaries. Esther Kahumbi tells us why the wheeled clinics are going to waste.
Janet Atieno's 4 children are spoiled for playmates. They have all grown up together, and soon yet another playmate will be available as soon as the last born, now only 10 months old, can leave her mother's bosom. That she is still alive to watch her children grow is a miracle of sorts, Atieno says. All her 5 pregnancies have been difficult, each more troublesome than the previous one. All her birth experiences a close shave with death.
Damu ndio inaniuanga kila wakati wa kujifungua. Hiyo shida yenye napatanga ni damu. Yaani damu inatoka nyingi mpaka sijui niko wapi. Hata wakati wa kuenda hospitalini sijui hata nimefika saa ngapi.
A condition so severe that traditional birth attendants wouldn't dare touch, her latest birth being no different.
Kifika saa 12 hivi nimemwambia sasa nasikia vibaya sana, tuende hospitalini. Yeye pia akaanza kutafuta pikipiki, imemshinda. Akiongea na mtu mwingine anamwambia niko mbali. Akiongea na mwingine anamwambia niko mbali. Nilisikia vibaya mpaka ningazaa tu hapa.
She hails from Kambeta village deep in Homa Bay County. The closest health facility is 10 kilometers away. But even when she makes it there, there's no help for her.
Mimi nikipelekwa hapa Uganda hapa, wanasema hawawezi.
Every time Atieno is rushed to Homa Bay District Hospital unconscious from her blood loss. And here is where the mobile clinic launched by the First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta, is always parked. A clinic that was intended for women like Atieno, but since its launch almost 3 months ago, it has seldom left the parking bay. On paper, the mobile clinics in the Beyond Zero campaign have been lauded for bringing healthcare closer to the people. But in reality, women like those in this village in Homa Bay County are yet to receive those services. They continue to give birth in their homes. Most cannot access healthcare for their children. Challenges that the county government says it is aware of, but can do little to change at the moment. Apart from leading in HIV prevalence rates, Homa Bay County also leads in maternal deaths. The Homa Bay County government says the mobile clinic has been to several villages, but its operation is hampered by several challenges.
We still rely on staffs who are on leave and the ones who are off duty. We give them something small so that they go using this mobile clinic. This is because we have a big challenge in the staffing.
The county says it is in the process of recruiting more nurses. In the meantime, Atieno is yet to embrace family planning.
Sasa unapanga kupata mtoto mwingine ama wewe ndo wa mwisho?
Mungu ndiye anaijua.
It is a sensitive subject forbidden by her faith, and besides, she has to get consent from her husband. In the meantime, she spends her time worrying about the next time she has to give birth.
Hiyo inanisumbuanga. Hata kulala usiku silali. Silali kifika usiku.
The challenge is replicated in several other counties like Taita Taveta, where every time the mobile clinic goes out, nurses have to be pulled out of nearby dispensaries, forcing the closure of the dispensaries since most are served by a single nurse.
Hata usiku saa ingine silali, wananipigia simu na usiku, ninatoka usiku, naenda kuwazalisha.
On this day, the mobile clinic was in Buguta in Taita Taveta County. Pregnant women, mothers with sick children flock this local school where the mobile clinic is stationed for the day. 25-year-old Lois Gilbert is already in labor with her third baby, but it will be her first birth in hospital.
Sasa imebidi watoto wengine nimezalia nyumbani. Hakuna mtoto mwenye nimemzalia hospitali, hata hivi ndio naanza hivi. Kwa sababu hospitali ilikuwa mbali, utaanza kuumwa hapa kitambo bebo ufike nani Rukanga, si hiyo itakuwa sasa hata kama ni kwa gari unaweza zalia ndani ya gari.
The mobile clinic is yet to reach many villages of the vast county, with few and far between health centers. In any case, the centers are ill-equipped and ill-staffed. During the week the Citizen TV was in Taita, those seeking treatment at Gazi dispensary were turned away. The only clinic officer was not in.
Daktari ameenda seminar huko Voi. Kwanza alinipigia simu juzi akiwa ilikuwa Jumamosi, akaniambia kwamba hata kuja kuanzia Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa.
The nearest dispensary is about 3 kilometers from here, but with a sick child, walking is not an option. But even then, her options are limited.
Tuseme na pesa sina hata kumfanya kuchukua tukutuku, sasa nitafanya nini? Si mtoto atazidi kuumia hivyo hivyo.
The Taita Taveta mobile clinic is yet to reach her village.
This caravan is like 1.5 months old, and so far we haven't been able to reach most of the areas within Taita Taveta County. Taita Taveta County is big, so we are heading there. Yeah, we have the schedule and we are heading there, so they shouldn't worry. 7 mobile clinics have already been handed over to county governments worst hit by maternal and child mortality: Taita Taveta, Narok, Samburu, Homa Bay, Baringo, Isiolo and Wajir. But one mobile clinic is clearly not enough, and the counties are expected to supplement the effort.
So part of the commitment made by the county government is that they are going to provide the health workers required to operate the mobile clinic. They are going to provide commodities required to make sure that the services are provided. They're also going to put up systems, particularly for demand creation, including a schedule, so that people know when the mobile clinic is coming.
Out of the 890 nurses that Taita Taveta County requires, only 266 are in place. It has only 44 clinical officers against a requirement of 235.
There's a major challenge of health workers across the counties, except the counties in urban areas. And we have been working with the county government to ensure that they recruit progressively, to ensure that they have enough workers, particularly frontline health workers.
In Baringo County, on the other hand, the mobile clinic launched over 2 months ago has never attended to anyone. Soon as it was launched, it was taken back to Nairobi. Health officers here say they were told it still had some fittings to be fixed.
Baringo being a rough terrain, the glass had not been fitted with good padding to avoid the terrain, because the glass would have actually broken. So it had gone back, and we're expecting it next week.
Until these challenges are sorted out, the Beyond Zero campaign will remain just that, a promise, with the vans gathering dust at the hospital's parking bay.
While you're watching Live at 1, we take a short break. We'll be right back with more news, including sports and business. Stay with us.